Welcome to Read-tastic. Today I'll be reading 2 stories from Am I the A-hole subreddit. Story 1. Am I the a-hole for transferring all my assets to my daughter before my marriage? I, female 28, had my daughter, female 9, while still in college. I'm ashamed to admit I don't know who the dad is. It was a drunken party mishap. My parents disowned me, and sympathizing with my plight, my grandpa took me in. He had a bad relationship with my dad. Grandpa died 2 years ago, leaving me his entire estate. He was kind of rich. I started dating my fiancé Max, male 35, around 4 years ago. He has 2 kids, female 6, male 10. He has full custody of them as well. Their mom married someone else and moved across the country. She pays child support, but makes no effort to contact them or visit them. We have lived together for over a year now, and everyone gets along pretty well. We stayed at the house my grandfather left me and split all bills and expenses 50-50, but kept the rest of the finances separate. He popped the question 2 months ago and I said yes. A few weeks ago we had a minor fight. My daughter's birthday is coming up and I wanted to give her a pony. She has been learning to ride for a few years now and really wants one. When I mentioned this to Max in a passing conversation, he got mad at me for wasting our money on stupid gifts like this. I told him I'm not taking anything out of our budget and just buying it out of my money. He said then I should buy his kids ponies too to make it fair. I said sure, let's split the expense. He told me I should buy it myself since I'm rich and it is my decision to buy my daughter a pony in the first place. That he is trying to make it equal for all the kids in the household and don't have money to waste like this. I got his point, but I also felt like he would want me to make everything equal with his kids too. I get they will be my kids too and I should not treat them differently. But I also felt like my daughter should not have to split her generational wealth. It is not mine, it's my grandpa's, and he loved her. He left it to me believing I would pass it on to her. So I made a trust fund transferring 50% of assets I inherited into that. It has rules regarding reasons I can make withdrawal out of, like education and separate living allowance based on age, money for marriage, for house, and entire balance made available at 30. I set up another trust fund for myself, putting 30% assets into it with yearly allowance and then to dissolve after 50, hoping to retire then. Balance 20% is mostly the house, land, and emergency funds. I did it so whatever income I earn, I will be able to make it equally split within kids. But inheritance will stay intact for my or my daughter's future without having to be split or used for my stepkids. My fiancé found out about this a couple of days ago, saw some related papers in my drawer. He was really mad at me for cutting him and his kids out. He said if I was marrying him, we would be sharing all assets and finances. That is not fair for me to keep 90% of my wealth just to myself and my kid when he is sharing all of his with us. I said I was sharing everything I make too, just the inheritance is kept aside. He is not bringing any inheritance into the union either. He said that's because he has none and it's incredibly selfish of me to not share, to lock it away. That with this, my daughter will have a luxurious life while his kids will have an average life only, since there is no way we can afford all that for them with our income only. I said generational wealth is separate, and it should go to the biological family. He called me an a-hole for discriminating and depriving his kids of an equally good life. Am I the a-hole? Update. I know this is quick, but I'm someone who always acts quickly. So here's the update. I had a much-needed conversation with Max. I showed him the post, replies, advice, and experiences. He looked defeated to see this. At the core, there were 2 issues. 1. How much do I trust him? 2. How do we handle finances moving forward? He told me he was ready to sign a prenup before I even asked. If that would alleviate my worries, he said all he wants is to have everyone in the household to feel equal, to not make his kids feel resentful, to make it fair to everyone. I understood that. The fact is, there is no way it can be made fair to everyone. If I want to give my daughter the best of everything, I should give the same to his kids too. But that is not always possible, even with our combined incomes. For example, if her love for riding stays, both me and her would prefer she attend a private school providing equestrian sports. Tuition for that and related costs can be availed from her trust. But we would not be able to afford to pay tuition for his kids out of our combined income. Trust is already set up, and even I cannot withdraw money for their tuition. Even if I could, I would be reducing my retirement funds or my daughter's inheritance. Same goes for car, tuition fund, and all other expenses my daughter will have covered. But even with our incomes, we can't give equally to Max's kids. Further, marriage is a big risk. Even with a prenup, if he takes on debt during course of our marriage, I would also be liable. A lot of the comments have instilled a lot of fear in me. I am also worried about the resentment finance is going to build. I love Max, I really do, but I love my daughter a million times more. She is my life. I have to accept that her future and opportunities is more important to me than a marriage. At least for the next 9 years. Who am I kidding? Till my daughter can be fully independent. And I cannot fault him for wanting the same for his kids. He's just being a dad. But I cannot take away from my daughter to give to his kids. I can only give equal love and care to them, equal attention. Financially, we are just not compatible. Long story short, I gave back my ring. Engagement and marriage is off the table for now. After all, there is no real necessity to get married. We are both sad about this turn, but the fact he did not kick up a fuss is a bit reassuring. I really do believe our companionship is just as valuable to him as to me. Just that we are also parents who wants the best for our children. We don't know where our relationship is going. I would still like to have him in my life. But he is also free to leave and find another person. I did not ask him to leave and he is staying for now. I will try to keep normal stuff equal between all, whatever I can afford to do out of my income. My daughter is still getting a pony. It's a gift from her great-grandpa after all. I would not compromise her life and choices. My grandpa took me in for her sake. He left it all to me for her. I cannot compromise on that. And there is no need for 3 ponies. Neither of his kids know or has shown any interest in riding. If they want one after seeing my daughter with hers, we will be getting them riding lessons, and they can share. They will be getting the best birthday presents we can afford that aligns with their interests for their birthdays. If Max sticks around till then, I will also be protecting the house and land as well. He cannot make claims on it as far as I know, but I will still be discussing it with my estate lawyer. Thank you for helping me see what I refused to. Love had me blind. I'm glad that you and Max have somehow found a way to resolve this, OP. I believe there's a compatibility issue. It would be very difficult for you to give your daughter the kind of life you want while your stepkids live a more frugal life. It's true that this isn't their inheritance, but they won't see it like that. To them, you'll be the evil stepmother who spoils her kid and buys her kid a pony while they struggle. I still believe love could have sorted this out though. If you had truly loved Max and his children the way you say you do, you would have found a way to share this inheritance with them. It seems like it's more than enough for your daughter and that you can share to make sure you all live a comfortable life, while still keeping enough for your daughter. But it's your inheritance, you do what you want with it. Now for some comments. Look, even from your first post, I was surprised the comments were so negative against your boyfriend. Any real parent would take issue with one child having a dramatically different life to the others, especially when you are both full-time parents. Not giving your future stepkids an equal share makes sense, but saying kids that you will be raising cannot benefit in any way from your family wealth is a little selfish. I say this not to be mean, but for the well-being of all the kids involved, but I really hope you guys break up. To be honest, we all know where your relationship is heading. You just don't want to face it. This is one of the tough things about wealth inequality, but to be perfectly frank, you both failed a test here. married couples are a team, and when it came right down to it, you didn't act like a team. And if you can't, you're not going to get to marriage level. Also, you need to be careful about A, spoiling your daughter, and B, manufacturing the inequality your partner is afraid of. Life not being fair is true, but the inequality will destroy any relationship you ever have if you make it the foundation of your existence. I think you have every right to put your kid first, and I'm glad you and your ex-fiancé realized and shared what your priorities were. However, I believe that anyone who's entertaining marriage to another parent has to come to terms with the fact that any and all juvenile underage children spending a majority of their time under the same roof have to be treated equally to the best of both parents' abilities, or else the marriage shouldn't happen in the first place. They're no longer just your spouse's kids, they're your kids now too, whether you like it or not. You're not the a-hole, but you sure would have been, maybe even an everyone sucks year, had you two gone right through with this marriage in spite of this minor fight. Not so minor in hindsight, is it? Story 2. Am I the a-hole for calling my sister disgusting after she threw a party to celebrate our mom's death? I just want to say first that yes, my mother was a crappy mom to us. She had undiagnosed, untreated bipolar. She was never physical, but she was volatile. During her depressive times, she could be straight up neglectful. Our dad was the MVP during our childhood and was responsible for most of our care. All that said, my sister and I both had a pretty different relationship with her after she was diagnosed. The timeline goes like this. Sister moves out at 18. I move out a year later, also 18. Both of us go low contact with our mother. When sister is 21 and I am 20, our mother finally gets diagnosed and starts treatment. She starts weekly therapy and is put on medication. Her mood stabilizes and she becomes a very different person, in a good way. Mother apologizes to us both. I accept it. Sister does not. Fast forward 6 years. I have a really good relationship with our mom. Sister talks to her maybe once a year. 6 months ago, Mom gets diagnosed with ovarian cancer, stage 4. She already had pretty poor health and declined very quickly. She died 2 weeks ago. We didn't have a funeral, but my sister, our dad, and me got together for a night and had our own service. Last night, I get a video call from my sister and she is absolutely plastered. I see that she has a couple friends over and they are drinking. I asked her what's up, and she starts singing that song. Ding dong, the witch is dead. And her friends are joining in the background. I asked her what the F, and she starts going on this drunk rant. Basically, she threw a party to celebrate our mom's death. She absolutely unloaded on me about how happy she was that mom was dead and how she deserved it for how shit a mom she was. I couldn't take it and hung up. I sent her a very long message about what a disgusting, hateful person she was. That mom tried for years to make it up to us and she rejected her at every turn. I loved my mom and her death is an absolute tragedy in my eyes. For my sister to actually celebrate it is beyond effed up to me. Not to mention hugely disrespectful to me and our dad, who are both actively grieving. She read the message this morning and basically told me to F off, that she didn't owe our mom anything and that I can get the F out of her life. I'm just angry and sad. I said some harsh things to her, but I don't really regret it, as I do think what she did was horrible. I just got off the phone with a close friend of mine who I told the story to. She thinks that I should have more empathy for my sister. I don't really agree since my sister clearly doesn't have any empathy for me. So I need some more opinions before I make any decisions here. Was I the a-hole to my sister, or was she the a-hole to me? I'm sorry for your loss, OP. It's very obvious that you and your sister both have a very different relationship with your mother. You admit that she was a terrible mother when you two were younger, but she got better after getting diagnosed. It's obvious that your sister was more affected by how she treated you in your childhood than you are. She didn't forgive your mother, but you did. I agree that she went overboard celebrating and calling you so. You could hear people cheering about your mom's death. Her death might be a celebration for her, But she should have realized it wasn't for you and your dad. That's just cruel. Now for some comments. It is very hard for siblings to recognize that even though they grew up in the same house and had similar experiences, their emotions and reactions and long-lasting effects for the sibling can be different. I was disowned and eventually forgiven. I'm still dealing with my childhood and my mom dynamics in therapy, and my sister just can't understand how I can't see how awesome my mom is, or basically let it go. It is just that her experience, while similar yet different, did not have the same profound effect on her psyche and mental health as it did mine. No a-holes here. I suspect my view might be unpopular, but here goes. You recognize that your childhood was poor and that your mom was not a good person. I'm happy that your mom seemed to improve after treatment. However, what she did do in your childhood leaves an imprint, sometimes deeper than what we want to admit. You and your father made amends and ultimately had a better relationship with your mother. That is fine. Your sister did not. While I think the whole ding dong the witch is dead singing is a bit much, your sister has a very different view of your mother, and I can't fault her for that. This could be also everyone sucks here. Not the a-hole. While your sister is entitled to her own opinions and feelings on your mother, I do find the party rather distasteful. But what actually puts her in an a-hole category was her calling you during the celebration so you could hear people cheering your mother's death. And for her to tell you all of that while she knew you were grieving, that was absolutely horrible of her, and it's understandable that you sent that message. Someone would have to be a disgusting, hateful person to call someone to tell them that their mother deserves to die. Your friend is also an a-hole for telling you that you should have more empathy for the kind of person who would call you because they wanted you to hear people cheering for your mother's death. What the heck?